Our society teaches us to show up in the same way every single day. But as women, we can't do that. Our rhythms are different than men. Our energy and emotions are gonna fluctuate throughout the month. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to take you guys along with me while I honor my period, my moon cycle. As women, we're really taught to shame our period. We're taught that it's disgusting. We're taught not to talk about it. We're taught that it's this thing we just need to hide away and never look at. But as I've evolved on my spiritual journey, I've really started to come back to my roots, return to nature, return to these old ways of living, and really seeing these things that are a part of nature, this experience that happens in our body every month, as a blessing, as this powerful time. Because as women, we're incredibly powerful. And this period that we have every month, it's actually a portal. It actually can help us receive wisdom, intuition. It can help us release the old in order to step onto a more aligned path. So the past few years, as I've started to really reconnect to my feminine energy, that divine feminine within that we as women have been taught to suppress, I've really started to see these cycles as mirroring nature. So as women, we have these 4 cycles, and our society doesn't really allow us to honor these different cycles. Our society teaches us to show up in the same way every single day. But as women, we can't do that. Our rhythms are different than men. Our energy and emotions are gonna fluctuate throughout the month. They're not just gonna reset in the same way that a man's cycle would reset. So periods are this time of shedding, of release, of looking at your shadows. We feel really emotional and really heavy, and our body is in such discomfort. And there's a reason for that. This physical discomfort that we feel is a physical manifestation of this shadow work, of this release. So as women, if we can learn to honor our periods and really use this as a time to look at what's not serving us in our life, really just use it as a time to slow down, to connect back to ourselves and figure out what we need in our lives, what we need to release. This time can be a really powerful time for transition, to set us up for that next cycle. This is really a time to slow down, to speed up. Our period is our winter. It's a time where we really slow down, we go within, and it's a time to reflect. And we feel really emotional during this time because these emotions are just energy that's been trapped in our bodies. And with that period comes that release. And in order to do that release, we need to feel everything that we've been suppressing in our lives. So every time that we have a negative emotion or we have a negative experience, instead of processing that emotion, oftentimes we suppress it and it gets trapped in our bodies. So during our period, there is no escaping from these emotions. Our period brings all this stuff up so that we can feel it and release it. Because once we feel these things, we allow them to release. So as women, we really go through these cycles and we go through this range of emotions every month. And reframing it and starting to look at it as a blessing is really powerful. During this time, we're also very connected to our intuition. So when I'm on my moon cycle, I really love to just slow down, try to disconnect, try to go into nature and just really listen to what's coming up for me, paying attention to my dreams, doing things that really get me out of my ego and back into my body, allowing those intuitions to come up naturally. One of my favorite things to do on my period is drink ceremonial cacao and have a little cacao ceremony. So if you don't know what ceremonial cacao is, this is chocolate in its purest form. So chocolate actually has all of these medicinal properties, but the chocolate that we're sold in stores is actually stripped of all of these medicinal and nutritional properties. So cacao is full of magnesium and iron. So this is really great for us women on our periods because we're losing a lot of iron on our period. And on a spiritual level, cacao is a heart opener. Cacao holds this beautiful feminine energy that can help us open our hearts and receive some wisdom and some guidance in our lives. So it's actually believed that cacao holds this spirit. So everything in our natural world, from the trees to the herbs, they all have these unique spirits and these unique energies. So cacao really loves when you connect to that energy and really be intentional with your cacao practice. So I really love to sit in ceremonies, set my intentions, and just connect to this beautiful medicine. So another thing that I really love to do on my period, and this is pretty much a non-negotiable for me, is connecting to nature and just grounding. So nature has this really beautiful healing energy, and as women, we're deeply connected to the earth, and the earth can charge us, it can heal us. The first time that I really realized the healing power of the earth was one time I was at this ecstatic dance and I was having intense cramps, and I just decided to surrender, and I laid down on the ground, and within minutes my cramps had just vanished. And I really started to realize the impact that grounding had on us women and how the earth really nourishes us and heals us. So today I decided to go out to this beautiful water hole and just connect to nature, and I swear nature was looking out for me because there was no one here. So it was really peaceful to just be here all alone, and I actually intended to just go here and journal and play my drum, but I ended up going for a swim because it just looks so beautiful. So I did not have my swimsuit. It was actually so freeing to just be in the water, in my body, in this beautiful vessel, and really connecting back to my pleasure, to my sensuality, enjoying my feminine body and just allowing her to be free. So I wanted to spend some time doing some reflection as well and some journaling, because when we're on our periods, this is a really powerful time to reflect, because our period is this time of release, of shedding the old, so that when we go into our next phase, our follicular cycle and our ovulation, we're feeling good, and this is a time we can create and be inspired. But first we need to release so that we're not holding on to the past or holding on to old emotions. So it's really a blessing that our bodies remind us every month to go within and do this inner work, do this shadow work, because sometimes it's easy for us to just avoid doing this inner work. But on our periods, there's no avoiding it. Our periods bring up all of these shadows. On my period, I really love to have a very intentional evening routine. So I'll run a warm bath with candles and crystals and just allow myself to soften back into my body. Allow the water to just nourish me and cleanse me and soothe those cramps. I'll also nourish my body with a cup of herbal tea. Herbal tea is magical when you're on your period. Herbs that I love to use on my period are red raspberry leaf, which really helps soothe those cramps, nettle, which helps replenish your iron, and lemon balm, which is just such a beautiful mood booster. So I spent the rest of my evening really just nourishing myself and nourishing my body, really just romanticizing my period, because you can either look at it as this really annoying time of the month where you're in discomfort, you're feeling emotional, you're feeling fatigued, or you can look at it as this beautiful time, as this portal, a time where you can go within, a time where you can release, where you can slow down. So that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you like this video, make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss another video.